Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, Fat Phil, and we're going to be talking about one of the most embarrassing things that happened to Capital Games. Territory Battles is canceled. We're going to talk about what led to this, why I'm so pissed off about this. Like, I'm actually very pissed off. What I hope they mean with some of their updates, kind of reading into that, and really who I feel really bad for in this situation, because there are some guilds who benefit from this, who are really getting shafted by this. So like and subscribe, let me know your thoughts. Let's get in here. Of course, let's get to our introduction. Alright, and let's give a huge shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys again for your continued support. If you're ever interested in joining, that link is always in the description, along with a link to the Discord server, so make sure you guys go check that out. So, I want to start off this video with kind of the timeline here. So this is the first update we got in the forums. I'm not going to move my fat face because there's not a lot to talk about. But the first update came, now it says 5/16. I think this was actually like about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? So like 1:16 Eastern Standard Time. The next update that we got from them was 6 hours later. For 6 hours, we had zero communication from the developers on this issue. 6 hours of nothing. Rise of the Empire is and Hoth are 24-hour phases. 25%, a quarter of that time, had elapsed during this. So, like, absolutely canceling it is a smart decision, or, like, they could have delayed it. But for 6 hours, we had nothing. That is, in my opinion, unacceptable, right? That is just unacceptable. And what I think they were trying to do, right, is while this was going on, right, you need to flip over. We're going to flip over to the Discord here. Of course, my Discord's not loading. Give me 1 second here. All right, we're going to flip over to the Discord here. So this is my Discord server, and up here right here, from the data mine of the Swago event server, error that causes TB to not load most likely is the Mandalore bonus zone, right? So TB component unable to find territory zone for TB mixed phase 4 conflict 03 bonus. So, hey, this is where the bonus zone is going, but it seems like at least the way I envision it, they were either testing this thing out and then they were trying to rush to get it in. That's just my assumption. I could be very wrong, but that's kind of the vibe I got, that you're not working all that time and not giving updates unless you're trying to make this work. Because the easiest thing has to be to just delete it out of the code and go back. Like, there's no way that takes that much time. I feel they were trying to get it in there. They've had all these Bo-Katan events. They're trying to reward those people for this bonus zone. And I think they got caught out by it. So, again, during that time, 6 hours of zero communication, where they could have said, hey, what's causing this is the Mandalore bonus zone. We were testing it, trying to get it out for you guys. Like, I would have loved something like that. Again, this is just the classic case of Capital Games not communicating with us, and it pisses me off. Because, again, it feels like we're reading into it, and that's all we have is the stuff that we can see, and it feels like they were trying to get this in at the last minute when it failed to load. So, I'm very kind of pissed off about that. So, yes, 6 hours between updates, and then finally, at, another hour after that, next update, we apologize with this. As a result, we'll be canceling territory battles, and at a later time, we will be rewarding you with your previously completed territory battle results. My question is, number one, what does at a later time mean? Are we talking regular payout? Like, hey, in the next, when you normally get your payout rewards, boom, that's when it's going to happen. Is it longer than that? Like, how long are we looking at here? But I really feel bad for a certain group of players. The previously competed TB results, there's a lot to unpack here. The players I feel the most for are the guilds who do Geo and Hoth TB. When you think about it, Rise of the Empire is when you go to Geo TB here for a second, right? Geo TB is light side for a week and dark side for a week. So it's a month in between light side, dark side territory battles. That is a lot of time for guilds to change. That's a lot of time for guilds to be doing things. And so it sucks because imagine that you're like a month ago, my guild was in a far different position than it was now. But for Rise of the Empire, it's every 2 weeks, right? It's the same TB every 2 weeks. So not as much changes in between that time. But for GOTB, a lot can change inside of a month. So you think you're a month later on cam shards, a month later, like that's a lot of stuff. You know, it's a big deal here, and I think this is really problematic for those guilds doing Hoth and Geo because again, for Rise of the Empire, okay, 2 weeks ago, not that much has changed in a guild, but for other guilds, a month is a long time. There's a lot of stuff that can happen during that time period, and think about that. What about cam shards? What about, you know, Riva shards? And like, as you know, just looking at myself, right? We do special missions in, you know, I mean, we're doing the special mission even here in, you know, just to try and sneak anything out. Like we did this special mission. But what about all the guilds who do this for Rise of the Empire? Are we going to get that compensated to us, right? Like, are you going to get the actual rewards that you should have gotten here? You know, are you going to get this? Are we going to, you know, if you do the special mission, you know, here and, you know, here, like, is that going to get rewarded as well? Is that part of the rewards for, you know, what we're going to get? Or are you just going to give out stars? Because that's a big difference. You think about that, like, okay, hey, for some guilds, you know, 400 extra, like for us, 480, yeah, it's not that much. But like, we got like 3,000 get currency from the Cal Kestis mission. Like, that's significant. Getting to Braca, like, what rewards do you actually mean by that? And in my opinion, this is just a complete colossal failure. And canceling territory battles, I think it's also unfortunate because there's players who invest in territory battle Omicrons, now they don't get to use them. So I don't think that just saying, hey, you know, we're going to give you the rewards that you previously got. Like, nah, we need more recompense than that. You need to be handing out some additional things because this is like, what about all those guilds who would have done better? Right? We're constantly improving. So I don't agree with that at all. I think there needs to be more of a make good here and an explanation is owed. Hey, we're trying to get the Mandalore bonus zone. It'll be coming here. Or like, hey, we were just trying to test it out, trying to see what it was working, see what it was looking like. And, you know, didn't work out that way. Like, we need some sort of explanation from them because what we've got, like, let's count it here. 1, 2, which this isn't even news. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences about territory battles. 4 sentences. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. So yeah, I'm really upset about it. I think that this is like bad news for the game. It's bad news for Capital Games because again, like they need some positive press sometimes, and it feels like whenever they're making these good decisions, things are going well, something like this happens where they just don't know how to handle it. So that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. If you're still watching right now, you know the drill. We're going back to it. You know what? I'm going to bring it back every once in a while. See what you guys are watching at the end. Wampa is king in the comments. I love you all. May the force be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.